Welcome, family and friends, to the funeral service for Sue Ann Jacobs. My name is Alison Wright, and Sue Ann's family have asked me to conduct today's ceremony. Today we gather to mourn the loss of our daughter, sister, friend, and colleague, Sue Ann. We are here under the hardest of circumstances, the most difficult of deaths, one that is ended before a life was fully lived, and one that was ended by choice. We are all here today with so many different feelings. Some of us will be feeling angry, loss, love, guilt, and so many more. Many will be searching back to our last moments with Sue Ann and ask what could have been done. We are here to offer one another solace, to remind each other that we are here for each other, to offer comfort and consolation. Today is a time for opening that space for healing. It is important today to recognise for Sue Ann, she could find no escape from the pain, the sorrow and the hurt. Her choice was to end the suffering, and this was her choice and hers alone. There were and will continue to be many milestones that will pass and which we will mourn. That Sue Ann didn't marry or have children or have grandchildren. She didn't graduate from her degree. For her friends and family, there will also be the small moments you will wonder about. Watching that last episode of the Game of Thrones. Next season's softball tournament. The small but important things for all of you. These moments of the everyday are the bittersweet moments. They remind us of the things we will miss and of the potential that has not been realised, the possibilities that we all thought we had in front of us with Sue Ann. I would like to now turn towards celebrating and honouring Sue Ann's life, because though cut short, it was meaningful and full of love, as you all here are testament to. It is time now to remember with love and gratitude the moments we had together, because despite Sue Ann's pain, she truly brought joy and love, fun and laughter, big moments and tiny, seemingly inconsequential but truly beautiful moments to us all. So let us remember those times. Let us join together today to celebrate her life together, that we might lean toward each other in the days and months and even years to come, that we might be a little stronger and more united because of today. It is time to contemplate the exquisite beauty of this singular life, no matter its end or its duration. Sue Ann's mum related to me the day she came rushing into this world. The pain, but the absolute joy that holding this little red baby in her arms, how Janet can still today feel the weight of her little body in her arms. And her dad, Trevor, also remembers that day when his whole world changed, when he realised that the world truly does have some magic in it. He learnt that day of the strength of his wife Janet and the sublime joy of birth. Sue Ann was by all accounts a beautiful baby who fed and slept and smiled and crawled and walked and talked at all the right moments. Her grandparents each had their own brag books, little photo albums that grew and grew over those baby and toddler years to be quite fat little books that they would delight in sharing with whoever would listen. Nana Pat had a special bond with Sue Ann from the year that Sue Ann lived with Grandma Pat, and when Mum and Dad moved back to New Zealand. It was in this year that Sue Ann joined the softball club and won the medal for the fairest and best, even though she had only joined that year. Sue Ann was a talented sportsperson and a fast learner. She was well loved and admired by her teammates, not just for her talents, but for her generosity as a team member, both in opposition and on the same side. It would always be Sue Ann that congratulated someone for good play, and it was her that was the first to shake the loser's hand and the last to criticise the umpire. Many of Sue-Ann's school friends will be here today to celebrate the life of an outgoing and vivacious friend. While she was never a school counsellor or a head girl, she was certainly well loved. Her best friend Tracy described Sue-Ann as the truest friend anyone could have. According to Tracy, she could be brutal with the truth, but that would swing either way. She might tell you your hair looked like you were turning up to a witches' convention, or that you were the only person in the world that could make her laugh on the worst day of her life. Sue-Ann didn't hold back on the truth. In fact, she didn't hold back on much. She was into everything, and she was into everything fast and hard. She loved life as much as she hated life, you could say. Despite her challenges, Sue-Ann finished her first 2 years at hairdressing at TAFE and delighted in being able to blow-dry Nana Pat's hair just the way she liked it. Sue-Ann was vivacious, kind and funny. She was a loyal friend, a devoted daughter and granddaughter. Some of Sue-Ann's friends would like now to share with you some small anecdotes. Callie Vernon has known Sue-Ann since kindergarten and will share a story. Please come forward, Callie. Then Callie tells her story. Thank you, Callie. I now invite 3 of Sue-Ann's TAFE friends, Tom Hatton, Mel Jones and Phoebe Cork, to share a story about Sue-Ann's fashion parade hairstyle. I understand you are each taking turns. Tom, I believe you're starting. Then Tom does his bit. Thank you, Tom. Mel, would you like to continue? Thank you, Mel. Phoebe, you're going to finish the story. Thank you. Thank you all. They were beautiful anecdotes. We will now take a moment to reflect on Sue-Ann's life as we contemplate her life and our moments in it with her. I invite you to come forward and place a sprig of rosemary on the coffin. In ancient Greece, rosemary was considered a sacred and magical herb, and it has come to symbolise friendship, love and remembrance. The slideshow is playing, photos are playing. I would like now to offer a prayer. Please bow your heads. Let there be no whispering, no secrets here. Our hearts are broken. Sue-Ann took her own life, and even though it might appear that she died by her own hand, no one does this without great coercing pain, inner suffering that seems to have no end, even though we wish she knew that no agony is forever. Source of compassion, help us to cry out loud, to hold each other gently, to live with unanswerable questions, normal feelings of anger and guilt, and this gaping hole of loss. Help us to reach out to others who are suffering, to show them our love, to say the kind word, and that this is not a choice we condone or is worth imitation. It is hard to see the divine image in the lives of those who suffer. The sun sets and rises. We put one foot in front of the other. We hold our hearts in our hands. We lift them up to you, God of eternal peace, and to each other. Help us live each day. Amen. It is now time to farewell Sue-Ann for the final time. Would you all please stand? We tenderly, lovingly and reverently commit Sue-Ann's body to nature's keeping and remember with gratitude her life. May any regrets we feel today be turned into gratitude for our time with her, and may the chill of our parting give way to the warmth and sunshine of her memory that we will cherish forever. And so, family and friends, as we commit Sue-Ann's body to the elements, may her spirit fly free and peace be her gift. Thank you all. The family invites people to the house to continue the celebration and remembrance of Sue-Ann. The address is on the funeral program and is at 15 Whitechapel Road, Brentwood.
Like the